What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. You're watching Tom Trips Out, and in this episode we're going to talk about why Cambodia is better when you travel alone. My name's Tom. This is my trip out.
Well, hey everybody, come along with me. Take a trip to a place to fight without sea. Meet people, eat food, see the joy they bring, and how much it costs to try new things. Well, come and watch me on the trip out. My name's Tom. This is my trip out.
So we're in Siem Reap by the Riverside here. And I've been reading a lot of your comments, and there was some people saying I show my face too much in the videos, so let's do one where you just see a lot of the beauty here. I've been traveling around Cambodia for quite a while now, and I've realized something. I actually think Cambodia is better when you travel alone. And when I say traveling alone, I mean really alone. Not traveling with your family, not traveling with your girlfriend or boyfriend, not traveling with a group of friends, and not joining a big organized tour. The biggest advantage of traveling alone is really simple. You can do whatever you want. You can follow your curiosity. If I want to stop somewhere, I stop. If I want to eat somewhere, I eat there. If I want to spend 3 hours walking around a market, I can. And if I get bored after 5 minutes, I can leave. When you're traveling with somebody else, every decision becomes a negotiation. And when you're on an organized tour, your itinerary has basically been decided for you, and you get brought around doing forced fun. You're following someone else's schedule. When you're alone, you don't have any of that. You just go. You meet more people. It's something I didn't expect. When you're traveling with friends or family, you already have your own little group. And when you're on an organized tour, you're also spending most of your time with the people who are on that tour, and you never have an opportunity to meet anyone new. When you're alone, you're much more likely to interact with the people around you. You have to order your own food. You have to ask your own questions. You have to figure things out yourself, and you're much more open to conversations with people you encounter. When you're alone, you're not just traveling through Cambodia. You're actually interacting with it. One thing I really like about traveling alone is that you don't need to stick to the places that are designed for large groups. A big tour has to take people to places that can accommodate everybody. But when you're alone, you can go somewhere tiny. You can eat at a little local restaurant. You can stop at a small market. You can wander into a neighborhood. Or you could just sit somewhere just because it looks interesting. You don't need a place that can accommodate 20 people. You only need a place that can accommodate you. And I think that's where you start seeing a different side of Cambodia. The next reason Cambodia works so well for solo travel is that it's relatively inexpensive. You can get inexpensive food, you can get inexpensive accommodation. You can get around relatively cheaply, and you don't need to spend a fortune just to have a good trip. Obviously, traveling with somebody means you can split certain costs, but Cambodia is cheap enough that I don't feel like I need another person just to make the trip financially worthwhile. I can get a room, I can go out for food, take a tuk-tuk, and just do my own thing, and I'm able to cover it all myself. You don't have to travel the way someone else wants to travel. And this is different from just having control over your itinerary. Different people have completely different ideas of what a good vacation is. Maybe you want to get up early and explore all day. Maybe the person you're traveling with wants to sleep until noon. Maybe you want Cambodian food 3 times a day. Maybe they want pizza and burgers. Maybe you want to stay in a $15 guest house, and maybe they want a 5-star hotel. You know, maybe you want to go out at night, maybe they want to be in bed by 10. When you're traveling together, somebody is going to have to compromise all the time. When you're alone, you get to have exactly the kind of trip you want at all times. There's also something about being alone in a foreign country that forces you to become more independent. If something goes wrong, there's nobody else to deal with it. If you get lost, you figure it out. If you don't know where you're going, you have to ask somebody. If you want something, you have to go get it. And eventually, all of those little things stop feeling difficult. You realize, okay, I can actually do this. And I think that's one of the best things about traveling alone. Okay, let's talk about the downside, because now I'm not going to pretend that traveling alone is perfect. There are definitely moments when you wish you had somebody with you. Sometimes you see something amazing, and there's nobody next to you to say, "Did you just see that?" And sometimes eating alone or spending an entire day alone can get lonely. And yes, traveling with somebody can make certain things easier, or you can have more fun. You can share expenses, you can share experiences. You have someone to talk to. So I'm saying that for me, in Cambodia, the freedom is worth it.
So if you've been waiting to come to Cambodia and you're just waiting around for someone to go with you, stop waiting. You don't need a travel partner. You don't need a group of friends to follow around. You can come here and figure it out yourself. You can do what you want, eat what you want, stay home if you want. After spending all this time traveling in Asia and living in Cambodia, I've decided it's way better when you travel alone. That's going to do it for this episode. Thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button. And until next time, remember, how you spend your days is the way you spend your life. It's never too late to start tripping out.
Life is tall.